Let's get this. It's UFC Fight Night, UFC 309, Jayo Sto Sports. Got my dog Day Day here. What is going on?
You know what time it is, man.
Yes. And let's get straight to a main event. As many people think, this can be Jon Jones's last fight, his retirement fight. You know, many people want these happy endings, so they give him a guy like Stipe, who's 42 years old. But before we talk about the fight, let's talk about the guy that runs UFC, Dana White. The man obviously thinks Jon Jones is a GOAT. Is he right on that?
In my opinion, no, he's not the GOAT, man. You can't be the GOAT and have that much smoke next to your career with all the failed drug tests and
Mm.
when they moved the event like the 2 days before when he was fighting Alexander Gustafsson. Like, there's too much smoke around his career, especially if you look at the last from 2016 when he returned to fight Daniel Cormier to now. I feel like his career has been so underwhelming. Like, it's just been Thiago Santos, but we felt like he was supposed to win that fight. There's never been that challenge, and it's not his fault. The light heavyweight division and the heavyweight division were weak. Were very weak for a long time, but now we're at a point where it's not Daniel Cormier versus Stipe 3 times in a row, and you actually have an interim champion in Tom Aspinall, and you're trying to hold up the division
Mm.
to fight someone that is ranked number 8, and they're talking about legacy. And he's a GOAT, but he's ranked number 8, and he hasn't fought since Ngannou last knocked him out. So what are we really doing here? And
He
then
got destroyed.
yeah, he got
He's
destroyed his
still
last
pro
fight.
he's still probably concussed from that.
Yeah, I
Bro,
like
he's
hearing
for
him
he's
speak, man. And I hear him speak, it's like, yo, that's punch drunk, man.
yeah, that
Serious,
knockout,
serious punch drunk.
no, that knockout was devastating. And he's 42 years old. He hasn't fought in 3.5 years. So a fight like this, yes, he's defended the heavyweight title the most. He's had what, four title defenses during his reign. But right now, that doesn't mean anything because that's when he was fighting on a regular basis when he was in his prime. You know what I'm saying? He's had this long layoff and he's fighting Jon Jones, who is probably more athletic than him, obviously. And he's had obviously more serious fights. But the only thing I would say, this is a good name to have on his resume, but the time he's facing him. Like I can't rate the time he's facing him.
You can't. And yo, if he came in with the mentality of like he just wants to beat Stipe to have the name under the belt, that's perfectly fine. But to say you're gonna hang your hat on this, like,
Mm.
bro, come on. Like, you've been missed so much time. We've been robbed of so much Jon Jones, and I've said this before. We've been robbed of
We've
like a
been saying that.
serious prime Jon
You
Jones.
said that.
Prime Jon Jones, man. There's so many years this guy hasn't fought because of all the BS outside the octagon, and then he tries to come to like press conference and say stuff like you're gonna fight Jamal Hill at 220,
Yeah,
220 pounds. You're gonna fight Jamal Hill or Derek
yeah.
Lewis. Like, Derek Lewis, you already seen what Daniel Cormier did to that guy, man. Work, just work. Like, and it's like, yo, when you see like the difference of the high level versus like guys that'll come in and get a knockout, whatever, but versus that skill where it's like Daniel Cormier said, yo, I'm taking you down and the fight's over. So what do you
Yeah.
think Jon Jones would do to him? And then
Yeah.
Jon Jones, the UFC has to pay you too much money to say, yeah, let's just throw Jon Jones in the co-main event against Jamal Hill because that's not headlining the card. That's not headlining a card. Not when you have guys like Ilya Topuria in the mix, Islam Makhachev on the shelf, Charles Oliveira in the cut. Like, all these guys that are potential title fights, interim title fights, or just title fights in general, top contenders. Jon Jones, I don't want to see you versus Jamal Hill in the co-main, the main event, the feature fight. I don't want to see that at all. Especially when Jamal Hill is someone he's chasing legacy. So what are you talking about Jamal Hill for? He wants to fight Alex Pereira to get his loss back.
I
Get the
can't.
belt.
Jamal Hill, bro. Jamal Hill just got knocked
No,
out.
no, no, no. No. I'm saying he's in a different mental space. Like, he's not thinking about super fights with Jon Jones. He's thinking about getting his get back with Alex. Like, everyone's focused on what they're supposed to do, and you have Jon Jones just here saying foolishness. And that's why Dana White had enough of it. And not to say, yo, The next guy, or you said if Jon Jones wants to fight after Saturday, it's against Tom Aspinall, and I like that. That's what I like about Dana White. When it's time to bring down the hammer, he knows when it's time, and he
Yeah,
does
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, Dana's a good boss, but the glazing needs to stop because it's out of control. Like at these prep rallies of glazing, like, bro, we don't need to hear or see you at conventions glazing. What does that have to do with UFC? Like he's
Yeah,
going way too far.
way too far.
Tom Aspinall, he's 8-1 in UFC, and all 8 wins have been stoppage. And he has hands too. Like
Hands.
once he knocks you down. Bro, this guy's ripping shots and nobody could stop them.
Yeah,
So he as in Jon Jones mentioned that Tom is a a-hole, this and that, but when did he ever come off as rude or arrogant? So that's why I want to know, like, this guy has to be mentally weak, right? Jon Jones has to be mentally weak. Also because
100%.
he's going to Stipe and saying, "Oh, don't call me the B word." Like, bro, this is the fight game. If this is track and field, or if this is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This is water polo. Okay, yeah, we don't need that kind of language. But this is the fight game. You see what Mike Tyson did to Jake Paul? Told him
yeah.
his face. This is what
Smack
happens
cam,
in
smack cam.
combat sports. And then in the face off. He's like, don't speak about my kids. When did that happen? What is he
He's on
talking?
it. Some Anthony Smith, yo.
Like, what? Something, nah, he's definitely missing some screws. But back to Aspinall, do you think if Jon Jones wins, do you because he does it seems like he doesn't rate Aspinall. I know Dana said this, but Dana, if there's some guys that Dana is gonna let kind of pick their next fight, it's gonna be like a guy like McGregor. It's gonna be a guy like Jon Jones. Do you really think he'll be like, yo, you know what? Forget the title, because you know how Jon Jones is. I just want to fight us, Pereira. That'll be my last fight. I don't care about title. Can you see that happening?
Yeah, I could actually see that happening.
Like, can you see that happening next?
I okay. When you say, "Can I see that happening next?" No. Can I
Mm.
see that fight happening if Jon Jones won? Yeah, I can see that fight happening if Jon
It's
Jones really
just so
wanted it.
crazy. There's no
If
way
he
he's gonna
fought
fight two more
Aspinall, but
times.
and it's not like he can't. That's
Mm.
the thing that's so crazy is Jon Jones for the longest time is I'm the youngest guy in the division. I'm still the
Mhm.
youngest guy in the division. And now
Mm.
when you're Daniel Cormier's age, when he fought you while you're sauced up on steroids and
Mm.
taking pictures of The Rock after the fight like you're a tough guy and you failed the drug test the next morning, which means the UFC knew that you were hot in the cage and they let you not go kick Daniel Cormier in his head and ruin his legacy. And it's like, yo, these guys Jon Jones is ridiculous, man,
Mm.
and and he needs to pay the opportunity back. You were the young guy in the UFC for so long. Shogun
Yeah.
fought you when you were young. Shogun could have said the same things he's saying now. You know what I mean? Daniel Cormier was old as hell, fought up to his 40s. And I'm not saying fight until you're washed, right? But like it's not like Jon Jones has had like a lot of mileage in the last decade.
Yeah, it's not super active.
He's not super active.
Not
There's
at
guys that are
all.
way more active than him, guys that have taken way more damage than him.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
just feel like, yo, it's at the point where it's almost like that Anderson Silva, like all your highlights I'm seeing are from like when man's had like Nike on their
That's
shorts
crazy
and there was
because
all these sponsorships in the cage. Like, what's going
nothing,
on?
nothing in the last 8, 10 years has been showing me you're the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Everything has been the 2010s, early 2010s, obviously, before 2010. I look at a guy like this. From he didn't fight Francis. I could never say he's the GOAT because I look at all these other guys, they're fighting the guys in their prime. We're talking about GOAT, I'm going to Khabib. You already know that. He fought McGregor, he fought Dustin, he fought Gaethje. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that. You're not fighting the guys in your division that's the best. And what's your excuse?
Yeah.
There's
To
no real
go to
ex like the excuses are lame. What are we talking about? What is the excuse? I just wish the competition could have been better recently. But if you're talking about to start a career, no, this guy, bro, he incredible start of his career.
Up to
Like
like 2014, 15, he was like just on, and
he
then
was
he
on
just
when he was heading towards gold status, but it just fell off for me. I know a lot of
yeah,
people they still riding with him, but I can't, man. That's not how I look at combat sports. That's not how I look at legacy. You got to give people a chance. You even see it in boxing. Well, look how old Mayweather was when he gave Canelo a chance. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give these young bulls a chance. Tom Aspinall has a following. Tom Aspinall has a UK crowd. He all had at the presser, everyone was calling Tommy. So he
yeah,
even has a US crowd too. I know the British fans travel, so maybe a lot of people in that crowd were British, but there's still US guys there, obviously.
yeah. The
But I
crowd
don't
lit up regardless. Like it was in Jon Jones's face. Pause. Like yeah, you know, like he's seen it. He's seen that. You can't say this is a fight that has no there's no interest behind it. They won't
Mhm.
sell no pay-per-views. I don't
Mhm.
want to hear that excuse. You know,
Yeah.
because I've never heard that excuse before. What about when you were fighting Anthony Smith? What pay-per-view was there to get there? You know what I mean? Like, and then what's even crazier is when Dominic Reyes and Jon Jones fought, Dana White said that he thought Jon Jones lost a decision. So now
Mhm.
all of a sudden this guy's GOAT status and all this and that, and he's
Mhm.
never lost. And I am interested to see if Jon Jones uses the 12-6 elbow. Like, I want to see Jon Jones fight. I want to see the best versus the best. And I don't like when guys sit out of the cage and just talk about how they're the best and bank on the past. I'm not saying your resume doesn't matter, but
Yeah.
at a certain point, I'm seeing guys like Alex Pereira defend his belt what 3 times in a year.
Over and over and over.
You know what I
Over
mean? Come
and
on.
over.
Like, there's this things that guys are doing now, and it's just badass. Like it's just crazy. Like man's remember like 10, 15 years ago to get that to move up and get that fight, you had to be like real deal. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Whereas now
Mhm.
it's like, yo, guys are like, yo, I got my belt, yo. Toporia's talking about Makashev already,
Right away.
talking about how he wants this. Like
Nah.
that's the attitude I don't want to hear. Jon Jones teased a move up to that division for like I don't even know how long, man.
Yeah. Because look,
His whole career, he teased that. Oh yeah, I want to get to heavyweight. Francis Ngannou has the belt. Homeboy says he wants to take the time to bulk up to that division and doesn't make his debut until Francis Ngannou leaves the UFC
yeah.
against the guy that Ngannou already beat with torn ligaments in his knee. Come on,
Horrible timing.
we can't talk. And then you're gonna go fight a guy that in his last fight was Ngannou dusting him. Like he dusted him.
Do you know what I'm saying?
The way he punched Stipe so hard, his hair swept. Like it swept like this, fell back, and the knee bent. Like, come on,
Bro,
man.
he is still cooked from that.
Hammer
He's
fist.
still cooked.
Hammer fist.
Brother, he is still cooked from that. People are saying this is going to be Jon Jones's retirement fight. This is probably going to be Stipe's retirement fight because he should have never even entered this fight. He shouldn't have fought ever again after what Francis did to him. Like
And like I said,
that was so crazy what he did. And that was his get back. So when they fought the first time, Francis didn't really know how to wrestle like that. You
yeah,
know,
he got
so
handled.
Stipe
He
is
got
just taking
handled.
advantage. Stipe knew the second time there was no wrestling.
Yeah, no wrestling at
He
all.
couldn't
Still,
engage because he knew he was gonna get caught if he tried to shoot. Nah,
no.
Francis and Jon Jones should have happened, and it's disappointing. We all know it is what it is, but
And I even seen someone was saying how ESPN and PFL or PFL and UFC are both ESPN. Like they're both on ESPN. So what would you lose to having Jon Jones fighting Ngannou? And if I'm Dana White and you want to talk about cutting, yo, I'm lining up those fights, yo.
mm,
I'm having Ngannou knock off this guy's head. If you're talking about you want to run away after fighting Stipe and you want to fight Jamal Hill,
yeah,
what stock does Jamal? How is that a fun fight? Like, how is that a fun fight, man? Like, if you're calling out, call out Alex Pereira. I'm
yeah,
fine with that. Even Israel Adesanya, you know what I mean? Like, call out guys where it's
it's
actually a super
this,
fight. How is Jamal Hill a super fight? That makes
it's
zero
this,
sense whatsoever.
it's
And
this.
I hope Jon Jones is doing this to like boost the sales of the Aspinall fight and bring some entertainment around it. Because regardless, him ducking Aspinall or however he's been acting, it's making the fight bigger.
Mm.
You know, when you have fans invading the press conference and taking over the press conferences like this, it brings energy, it brings attention to the fight. And if Jon Jones just retires without fighting Aspinall, it'll be a shame, man.
Yeah, that's the main event. The co-main event, a rematch, Charles Oliveira, your guy, versus Michael Chandler. Chandler's 38.
Yeah,
Chandler's 38, and he hasn't fought in 2 years. And that doesn't help your case when you've been out the cage that long, just like Stipe. Once you reach a certain age and you've been out the cage for that long, you're gonna have hella rust.
yeah.
And a guy like Charles Oliveira, that guy's like he's quick twitch. You know what I'm saying? So you can be caught lacking because we seen what happened the first time. First time he got caught lacking, and that's why he got dealt with. Do you see Michael Chandler making any adjustments and putting together a better fight than the first one?
Uh I don't think so. Because that's the question that I find we always ask us with this Michael Chandler is he gonna fight smart? And it never happens. It's never happened. We already know what Michael Chandler is. He's the guy that's like he's a stepping stone. He's gonna go in there and he might drop you, and
Yeah,
then he might like he'll make it entertaining, but he's not
yeah,
out there to win.
yeah,
He's out there for that moment, like when he had Oliveira on his back and he jumps backwards. Like that's what he's there for.
yeah,
He's doing
yeah,
foolishness. You know what I mean? A winnable fight against Justin Gaethje, and he's telling Justin Gaethje to punch him in his face.
yeah.
The guy's there for entertainment, and
His
it's
his
a shame that
goal.
McGregor made him fight or made
Mm,
him wait for so long because it would have been that's like the most winnable fight McGregor had,
yeah.
the most winnable fight he had, and he gave it away and he spoiled it.
His goal is fight of the night. That's his
Yeah,
goal. That is
mm,
his goal because he's been in UFC for how long? He's been in UFC for a time now. And he's
yeah.
only fought 5 times. And he has a losing record, 2-3. And should we even count one of those wins? Like Tony
The which
Ferguson
one?
bin.
The Tony
Oh, no, no,
Ferguson.
I know that was nasty. Listen, I know that was nasty, but Tony
Yeah,
Ferguson bin washed.
yeah.
Tony Ferguson bin washed. So I just want to know with Michael Chandler, like more than likely he's gonna take an L. I'm saying he's taking an L. I just don't see him being able to just get through those big situations. You know what I'm saying? He's always fighting on a big card. He's always fighting in a big city, New York City. It's just he's UFC is a different animal. We all know that. UFC is a different animal. You could even look at my boy Venom Page, like, bruv, really? Ian Gary? Like, UFC is a different animal. If he takes the L, do you still think he warrants a Conor McGregor fight?
No, absolutely not. I think if and I don't even think Conor would want to fight him if he loses. I think Conor's gonna call out Oliveira after this. And that sounds so ridiculous. Like the guy that's been sitting on his couch for the last 4 years is gonna call somebody out, right?
I think Oliveira, I don't know.
Yeah. I think because
Oliveira?
if
He doesn't
yeah,
even
I
speak
think
English.
I think Connor will call him out. Because remember when Connor fought Poirier the second time or the third time when he broke his leg, he wore the Brazilian mouth guard. And that was when Oliveira was champ. And that's like you look at it, what fights I think Connor looks at it like what fights can get him to a title shot. And it's realistically a win against anybody in the top five will get him a title shot. And I see the most winnable fights. At one point, it was Michael Chandler, but that fight's gone. And if Charles Oliveira beats Michael Chandler, the Charles Oliveira would have to wait a while because Islam's already fighting Sarukian.
Mhm.
And with Connor, he said Connor wants to. Dana said Connor coming back next year sometime.
That's what
And
they say,
depending on
but
how much damage Oliveira takes, I could see him like I don't know if Mans will trust McGregor to wait for a fight, but I could see him taking that fight.
Connor's not a serious guy. You know what I'm saying? Connor's not a serious guy. If he comes back, if he doesn't come back, if he comes back the end of next year, if he comes back the middle of next year, I don't see that guy as a serious guy. Obviously he's the money man. You know what I'm saying? He's a
Yeah.
cash cow. He's like what Canelo is to boxing. But it's getting to a point where this guy's out all the time. This guy's always he's going through ragers. He's having all these ragers. This guy
Yeah.
was all dancing with the next gal, didn't realize his wife was behind him, had to get off the gal he was gonna dance on. It's like, bro, what is going on?
He looks embarrassing. Did you see him with Saka?
He was trying to kick him or something, right?
Yeah, and then man's are like, this is how you have to have these fake laughs like Saka when a crazy person's around you. And it's like, yo, that's facts, yo. It's like when you're on the at the bus station and you see a Bucky just acting weird. And
Yeah,
it's like, yo,
yeah.
let me just smile at myself so I can just get by. This guy's crazy.
Just
Like,
trying to make, yeah,
yeah, he's always outside acting embarrassing. People are always saying how he's on coke. Like, it's embarrassing, man. It's
yeah.
it's embarrassing to see.
Yeah, no, it's bad. And I don't know, man. Like, I understand he wants to get the belt again or whatever. Like, a guy like Michael Chandler, even with the L, I think that's the safest bet for him. Just an exciting fight. I don't think when it comes to that upper echelon, McGregor can do it anymore.
Yeah,
Not that upper echelon. He just needs to be in maybe a 1-2 more fight with the UFC. I don't know how much fights he has left on his contract. Just fight exciting guys. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Just go through these exciting fights because another title reign with him, it's not gonna happen. These guys are too like they're well-oiled machines. You know what I'm saying? He fights like Islam, bro. Same thing that happened to Khabib's gonna happen to him. You know what I'm saying? Same thing that Khabib did. Make him top. Even if he fights a guy like Arman, like these guys are just tanks. You know what I'm saying? They're tanks. Do we rate McGregor? Of course we rate McGregor, but the fall off is just crazy, man.
yeah.
Obviously, this has everything to do with it, but like you would have thought at least he would have had one fight, like as of recent, as of late. It's embarrassing, man. It's bad. And that's why it's like, you know what? Like people look at Connor like, yo, this guy got that double champ. And now everybody wants it. Like nobody wants to earn getting double champ. Defend your belt in your division maybe 2, 3 times.
Yeah.
People are winning it one time, defending it one time, winning the belt right away and calling for double champ. Not here for that, bro.
And in a sense, it is a free title shot because you have nothing to lose if you're the double champ moving up. But I don't mind the energy. When you have guys that are like that can actually bang, like Ilya Taporia, I don't mind seeing you move up. Especially when I look at the that division and it's like outside of a Diego Lopez fight,
Hmm.
like do I want to see him fight Volkanovski again? I feel like the same thing would happen.
I don't. This guy,
Espe-
and the thing is, he's too humble in there, bro. I mean, yo, Volkanovski, let me hold it down.
yeah,
It's my time, and I knocked you out. You don't warrant a title shot or rematch if I knocked you out.
yeah,
Like anybody that says, "Oh, lucky knockout," no, don't get knocked out. I
yeah.
don't think anybody that gets knocked out should get a a rematch. But you know how it goes. I agree. Diego Lopez, not the biggest name, but he should get a title shot. He should get a title shot. Those are names that people don't really know, but that guy is a beast. That guy is a beast. Want to talk about Bo Nickel, middleweight. What's UFC doing with this guy, man? Because he's obviously gonna win tomorrow, but do you think he's ready yet, or do you think Dan and them are gonna keep building him up?
I think they're gonna keep building him up, man. I think they're gonna take the Sean O'Malley approach with them
Hmm.
because there's no reason to there's no names in the middleweight division like that to lose. Like Bo Nickel is an up and comer that has some clout next to his name, and I don't unless he obviously has skill, and I think
Yeah.
don't rush him out there and get him socked quick. I think the UFC learned their lesson with Darren Till, where when you push a guy too early, so when you have these guys that the crowd actually takes some interest in, just take it slow with them. You have time. The middleweight division is kind of log jammed right now for the title shot. So just chill out for a bit. There's a lot of guys calling for the title shot, so just chill out. Let him fight these Paul Craigs. Let him, have a couple more fights, and then we'll
Uh,
see how good he can get. I don't want to send him out there against somebody ranked too high like a Jared Cannonier and just see him get sparked out quick. Like I don't want to see
yeah,
that. I want to
yeah.
let him develop, get some experience in the octagon first because he came up from the contender series not that long ago. You know what I mean? Like his MMA career has not been that long. So let him get some experience first. Don't just throw him in there to lose and then ruin his confidence and potentially ruin a star, you know?
Middleweights, somebody that is short of lacking confidence is a guy in Hamza. We recently seen him make Whitaker look like a freaking amateur. You know what I'm saying?
Broke up his teeth, yo.
He broke up the man's teeth. And the thing is, he dealt with that quick time.
It was quick time. I didn't even when Whitaker tapped, I was like, what? That was quick.
I've
That was
I've
quick
I've
work.
I've seen people tap quick. We've seen how quick Amanda tapped against Pena. We've seen how quick McGregor tapped against Khabib. We've seen people tap quick. You know what I'm saying? We've seen people Shevchenko when she tapped quick against Grasso. We've seen people tap quick. But the way this guy tapped, just put Hamzat's son across your forehead.
Yeah. Like
Cause
that
that
was
was
quick work.
what? Dealt with him away. To me, I always thought Whitaker's a little bit overrated. You know what I'm saying? But that was just old fashioned butt whooping right there.
Yeah.
Who do you think should be next for Hamza? Like there's DDP,
Uh,
there's Izzy, there's Strickland. What do you think he should do? Who do you think
uh,
is the best matchup right now for him?
right now, I don't know if Izzy wants to make a return yet, but I think he
Hmm.
could chill for a bit and seriously wait for that Sean Strickland DDP fight because I think both of those guys are very winnable fights for him. So just chill out
Hmm.
and let those guys fight and then take the winner of it. I don't see anybody taking his opportunity at 185.
And
Or
those,
maybe a fight with like Paulo Costa, but then it's like you just beat Robert Whitaker, so why fight Paulo Costa?
yeah, you're downgrading.
Yeah,
But I as good as Hamza looks sometimes, like let's not forget, like I've seen holes in his game against Usman,
yeah,
against Burns. You
hmm
know, so he doesn't always look like he looked against Whitaker. He doesn't always look unbeatable. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like he has times where when things aren't going his way, he could a little
Looks
flat-footed.
sloppy. Yeah, he looks sloppy.
Exactly. Gas tank's not there. Like when he fought Usman, that was on how much days notice?
Like a week, two
You know what I'm
weeks.
saying? And Usman has bad knees too.
Yeah,
So I
and Usman moved up to fight him as well. It wasn't even at Usman's weight class.
yeah, yeah.
So
So nah, Hamza's a beast, yes, but I'm just saying like DP probably I would say out of all guys probably has the best chance.
yeah,
Strickland obviously has been caught before. We've seen what happened against him in Pereira,
yeah,
and Hamza is just he's just a freight train. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You might
So,
run through him quick times. Quick
but
work, man.
let's get like final predictions on this main event. Jon Jones, Stipe. Do you see a stoppage? Do you see it going the distance? What do you think happens?
I see Jon Jones submission.
Hmm.
Jon Jones submission. Charles Oliveira submission. I think Charles Oliveira. I think Jon Jones is gonna they're gonna take down Stipe, hold him, get him like an arm triangle or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe get some ground and pound, some nice elbows in, and then when Stipe turns over, he locks into submission. And I see I see Oliveira rocking Michael Chandler and catching him in like a guillotine or a rear naked choke, something like that. rocking him and then catching him in a submission while he's rocked and just dealing with him quick times. Chandler's in shape, but like, bro, you've been doing nothing the past 2 years. Not, I want to say nothing because you've been like, you've kind of been in the limbo. You've been training and then not training, training, then not training.
It
So he's in
it
shape, but that age and his chin's been touched, not been taking damage, but Charles Oliveira is a pretty old fighter too, so I can't, age could play a factor for both of these guys, but I just think Charles Oliveira is a sharper fighter and more active, more skillful.
yeah, yeah. This will be whoever gets the win will be good for them because Oliveira has what? He's been 1-2 in his last three, and Chandler hasn't had a winner record period in UFC. So whoever gets this win, who I'm just being honest, bro. Whoever gets this win will be big for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know why whatever Chandler said in embedded, oh, I get this win. I'm number one contender. I'd rather fight Islam. Like it's some guys, man. It's just like
yeah.
some guys. But but yeah, man. You think any call outs? Any call outs?
Uh, no, I think John
Do you
Jones.
see Aspinall going into the octagon after this fight?
I don't think, bro. I don't think. I think John Jones would like specifically request that, like, don't allow him in the cage. I think he
Yeah,
would
yeah,
say it
yeah, yeah,
public,
yeah.
don't allow
That's
him in the
all
cage.
Petty is. That's all Petty
Yeah,
is. It's sad.
and then yeah, I think we'll see like Tom Aspinall might get up, and then we'll see security like, nah, you're not allowed, you're not allowed. And then John Jones is gonna act like he never like
You never
ordered that
knew.
to be how. Yeah, he's just gonna stand there and look away, just be in the cage like he doesn't know that's happening. So, and then I don't know, man. I think if Joe asked him about I don't know if Joe would ask him about Aspinall, but I think he will. I think he will. I don't think Joe is a he won't avoid the moment, and you can't. It's oh no, it's an elephant in the room. Aspinall is the elephant in the room, and it's almost like people are looking past this fight so much. Then maybe who knows? What if Stipe gives him that shows him that heavyweight hands? Shows him that man don't hit like they do at 205
Nah,
and
man.
leans him.
He's not there anymore, man.
Who knows? Who knows? He might have that fireman strength. He said he works a 14-hour shift last week, eh?
I understand what
He's locked in.
I
It's
understand what
like
you're
he might
saying.
give him some blue collar punches, yo. Some blue collar combination.
Jaws definitely is gonna win this fight. You know,
Yeah, I think so too.
Stipe, like it's done for him. It's done for him. And I just want to see Jones against Francis. It has to happen eventually, man. But if not, I want to see Jones against Aspinall. I think this would be horrible. It would be horrific. It would be nasty work if he retires after this fight, bro.
Yeah,
It will be so bad.
I think people might boo if he like announces his retirement in the cage. I think people might actually boo.
And remember, this is his home state, right? He's a New York guy. So,
So man, so who knows? Maybe not. But I don't know, man.
like, I know he lives in New Mexico, but
Maybe
he's a
the
New York
Aspinall
guy and
fans
raised.
yeah, yeah. What if the Aspinall fans take over the crowd? I don't know. Who knows what'll happen? I'm interested to see.
Yeah, man, we in for something, man. We in for something. My boy, Day Day. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
UFC gonna get rolling again. About to get
yeah,
rolling
yeah,
with this UFC again. Hopefully, 310 we got a nice main event. Obviously, we know Bilal, he got hurt, but you never know, man. You never know.
yeah,
You might get something. Might get something, but it's Jayo Sto Sports. Y'all subscribe, like,
yeah.
share, comment. You already
Oh,
know.
real quick.
Popping.
Who do you have tonight? Mike Tyson or Jake Paul? Quick
Yeah,
prediction.
yeah, yeah. No. Like at the end of the day, Mike Tyson is about business. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Mike Tyson is about business, but Jake Paul is gonna stick and move.
You
Mike
think he's gonna
Tyson,
knock him out?
no, there's no knocking out. I don't think Jake Paul can knock anyone out anymore. Like that phase, that time is done with Jake Paul knocking people out. But I think he's gonna stick and move, get around Tyson, stick and move. I think he's gonna hurt him. I think he's gonna hurt him. Knockout, no, but probably get a
But,
decision, or probably Tyson's corner says, "Hey man, you're taking too much damage." But again, first two rounds is dangerous.
yeah,
But Jake gets by first two rounds, he'll get that victory.
So when you say that Jake Paul knocking people out is done, are you saying he doesn't have the skill to
No, no,
like
no,
be
no,
knocking
no,
out
no.
them, or like what do you mean by that?
I don't think it's not about the skill. It's just I don't when I see Jake Paul fight, I don't know if he has like if he has someone hurt, I don't know if he wants to go in for the kill.
Yeah, he doesn't have the killer instinct.
He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. So I even against a 58-year-old, I still think he would
Be gun
not
shy.
be sure of himself to go in for a knockout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
100%.
yeah, I do think Jake will win though, but Mike Tyson's dangerous in those first two rounds. So that's all he has to do. He has to just get by that, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
But you already know combat sports weekend, Friday night fights, and then
yep, yep.
Saturday's main event. Peace.